Viewers seem to enjoy when I give myself outlandish challenges and then show ho-hum results. So this video isn't my fault. Before I dive in, I'm still looking for work in February of 2024. If you know of an opening where I may be a good fit, please contact me via LinkedIn. Link in the video description. The Go designers made a conscious effort to keep exceptions out of the language because they felt that exception handling created a hidden control flow through the code, making it less understandable to developers. The main complaint about Go's error handling is that it's too verbose. You see a lot of code like this in Go. So in order to make Go's error handling better, I need to make it less verbose while not creating a hidden control flow. But I feel there is one more problem that is less talked about but still very important. Here is some Java code that probably looks familiar. The programmer has chosen to ignore any error handling by allowing the errors to bubble up. While there are situations where code like this is acceptable, this is not one of those cases. If we take a step back, image.io.read could throw an I/O exception. But it doesn't make any sense for retrieve image to throw that exception because doing so would expose implementation details. Retrieve image should either throw an image not found exception or an unknown image retrieval exception. And it's easy to see that if we first define the image retrieval interface. Since the interface doesn't specify how images are stored, it can't and shouldn't attempt to anticipate all the errors that might occur for every possible implementation. Imagine if the implementation retrieved the image from a database, cloud storage, or another service, for example. The issue is even more hidden in a language like Python, where it's not even obvious whether an exception can happen at all. I spent some time trying to come up with my own idea on how to reduce verbosity without decreasing readability. And I went out and researched proposals that had been made and realized that I'd essentially recreated ideas that were already being discussed. The most up-to-date proposal at the time I'm writing this script seems to be the Guard proposal from Marcus Hickelum, and I apologize if I'm getting your name pronounced wrong. The Guard proposal does reduce the verbosity of error handling, essentially reducing 4 lines of code to 1. However, augmenting the error, such as by wrapping it, requires a defer that investigates the error value and does the wrapping. Let's go one step further with the proposal and see what it looks like if instead of implementing copyfile, we were implementing a file-based version of a data cloner interface. There are multiple errors that the data cloner interface might want to return, specifically error no such source, error destination exists, and then a generic error for errors that don't fit into either of these. Using Guard to simplify the error handling of such a method is not actually possible because there's no way for the code inside defer to know where the error came from, and that context is critical to processing it properly. I'm not in favor of a change that has such a limited scope of use. There's another negative consequence. The error variable now becomes magic. How does the Guard statement know which variable to assign the error to? It's obviously possible to correctly infer the variable name, but my concern is that such inference feels suspiciously like a hidden communication channel, which is what Go's design was trying to avoid in the first place. Now, predicting the future is a high-stakes activity. If I predict correctly, people will look back on me as if I was some sort of genius. But if I predict incorrectly, people will look back and call me stupid for not knowing better. But what the heck? I'll make my prediction based on 2 big factors. First, the fact that a lot of smart people have been trying to improve Go's error handling without any success. And second, the fact that recent Go developer surveys show that most developers are happy with Go's error handling. As a result, I predict that there won't be any changes to error handling in Go in the near future. Of course, there's always the possibility that some super genius will come up with something that nobody else has thought of before. But for now, I feel like the answer to my original question is no, I can't make better error handling than the Go developers, and neither can anyone else.